So you might have seen an article going around, or maybe just people talking about the article, imploring us all to try to buy only 5 brand new items of clothing each year. And if you're Australian, you might have also seen that we are officially the world's biggest consumer of new clothes. On average in Australia, each person buys about 56 brand new items of clothes. And although we're buying an awful lot of clothes, we are also in Australia amongst the lowest, especially in the Western world, for like how much we spend per item. So we buy a lot, but we buy it cheap and it doesn't last very long. We donate an awful lot to op shops and charity shops, and a lot of that clothing ends up in landfills. Now, I am somebody who cares about the environment and I care about my personal impact on the environment. It's one of the reasons that I became vegetarian about 5 years ago. I make a lot of choices every day, small and large, to help me live in alignment with that value of mine. However, you might have noticed that I love clothes, and I am somebody who buys a lot of clothes. Now, that's not to say that I buy all of my clothes new. Ever since I was a teenager, I have been an avid thrifter. I love nothing more than an absolute score at an op shop. And for the past few years, I've definitely made an effort to make sure that when I do buy new clothes, they're coming from brands that I love, that are local, that are sustainable, that are doing their best to be ethical. But having said all that, I still buy a lot of new clothes. And that is something that I want to start to change. Now, I don't know that it's something I'm going to be able to change overnight. I definitely am more like a small, achievable goals, incremental gains kind of person. And the idea of a year-long challenge, like the one that these articles have been talking about only buying 5 brand new items, just intimidates the hell out of me. But what I think I can do is to sort of ease myself into a new way of thinking about clothes and my wardrobe, is I want to try like an easy cheat mode of this challenge. What I'm going to try and do is to limit myself to 3 brand new items from today until the end of the year. And look, we are all at very different places with sustainability, with fashion, with clothing. And at least for me, this feels like something that will be a marked difference, a big change for me, but also it still feels achievable. And so I want to do it. I want to give it a go. Firstly, I wanted to talk you through some of like my pros and cons and some of the things that I have thought about over the years when it comes to how much I buy new versus how much I buy secondhand. I remember a few years ago, I was very seriously considering kind of trying to commit to only buying secondhand clothes and not buying anything brand new anymore. There were, however, a handful of concerns and thoughts, some valid, some less so, that held me back from like fully committing to that goal. And I just wanted to talk to you about some of those and where I'm at with them now, and kind of why I feel really ready to make this challenge, this commitment to this challenge now. The first one is the fact that I have found some local, sustainable, small businesses that I love. These are brands that I love, and I always feel good in their clothes and I feel good buying from them. And this is one of those reasons that is still true. Like, it hasn't changed. That is still true. And I'm sure it's probably going to be the thing that I struggle with the most over the next 6 months. Just seeing when they do release new items, like how beautiful they are, I'm sure I'm going to covet some of them. And the idea of probably not shopping any of those items does make me a little bit sad. I want to say but here, but I'm going to choose and instead. How dialectical of me. So all of that is true, and I can still commit to making a change, and I can still do something differently. One of my other main concerns in the past has been the fact that I'm plus size and I'm very picky about the kinds of clothes I like on me and that I like to wear. And while I've often had a lot of luck finding just kind of like knit tops and that kind of like lighter weight shirt, like I've thrifted heaps of those lately. And I've even had decent luck thrifting things like coats and jackets. So I've always felt confident thrifting those things, and those are the things that I usually do thrift. I have very few new items of those kinds of clothing in my wardrobe. The types of clothes that I've often had a harder time finding, and so therefore have often relied on purchasing new, are definitely more like bottoms, pants, skirts, and even to a certain extent dresses. Dresses I do find very hard to find at the thrift store, but I don't wear dresses as often. So as long as I have, you know, a couple, which I currently do, I'm not really looking for dresses at the op shop, so they don't bother me as much. But pants is something I wear a lot, and even skirts, and I really do. I just struggle to find them secondhand. I struggle to find them in my size. I struggle to find them in cuts that I like, in colors that I like, in fabrics that feel good on me. And so it is those things that I often purchase new and that I often have in my head as a reason why I can't switch to secondhand or commit to purchasing mostly secondhand. However, there have been a couple of things that have happened to me more recently that have made me feel much more confident about this concern. The first simply being that I have heaps of pants and skirts that I love. I am not wanting for pants and skirts that look great, that I love the color, that fit me well, that I feel comfortable in. I have so many options right now. I feel more than confident that I will be fine for the next 6 months. But also in the last year or so, I actually have had a little bit more luck when it comes to pants and skirts. I think I found a couple of items at Savers and at op shops, but I've also found a couple of pairs of pants at more like consignment secondhand stores, which is something that before a few years ago, I wasn't really interested in. Several years ago, if I was going to buy something hand, I wanted it to be like a bargain, you know, whereas now I am more willing to spend a little bit more to find the right item secondhand. And then even more recently, Depop. Depop has been a revelation. Yes, it can absolutely be addictive. It can definitely feed into consumerism and all of that good stuff, but it is also an incredible place to be able to find specific items in your size. And so in the last like 6 to 12 months alone, I have found some incredible secondhand pairs of pants that I just adore. And I just wanted to show you some of them to celebrate them because they're that good. Firstly, and these might be my favorite, I found these Lucy and Yak Cole jeans, which is a cut that I already have that I know that I like. And the ones that I found are so cute. They're like a white base with orange flowers and green leaves, and I just love them. Obviously they're cute, they're colorful, and I already knew when I purchased them off Depop that they were in a cut and a size that I feel so comfortable in, and they just fit so well into my wardrobe. You'll also know that not too long ago I found these amazing pants at Mutual Muse, which is a secondhand consignment store. Now they are from a brand that I will not ever purchase new from. I will leave a link to the video where I talk a little bit more about that in the cards above for you. But I love these pants, so secondhand I was more than happy to make the purchase, and I just really feel good in these. And although I had never actually thought to purchase myself a cream colored pair of pants, they again have fit so well into my wardrobe. Honestly, in the last couple of months since I've had them, they have been probably my most worn pair of pants, and I got them for $33. You can't beat it. These were actually the first pair of pants that I found in a very long time. They're Ralph Lauren, they're men's, and the waist is definitely too big for me, but I love how they fit around the rest of my body, and they have this kind of like tie on the inside of the waistband where I can really cinch it in and get it to fit how I like. And I found these at Savers for like $12. So all the hardcore thrift YouTubers are absolutely right. You need to check the men's section. There truly can be some hidden gems in there. Now I do have like 3 or 4 more pairs of bottoms that I do want to talk to you about, but they are related to a slightly different point and a slightly different concern that I have had over the years. And that is that I always find it hard transitioning from, you know, summer to winter or winter to summer. I don't know what it is. I just kind of get a little bit freaked out that I'm going to be too hot or too cold. And I think it's like I get so comfortable and confident in the clothes that I have been wearing that all of a sudden the opposite season clothes look terrifying to me. And of course, in the space of 6 months or so, like your body can very quickly and very easily change. And so I suppose I also just get like a little bit of anxiety around, you know, transitioning from one season to the next when it comes to my wardrobe. And in the past, one of my responses to this anxiety has been to buy too many new clothes. And again, pants and skirts are something that I often get worried I'm not going to find in my size and in something that I feel good in time for the weather changing, you know? So I know that some of this is a little bit of like catastrophizing, that kind of thinking, but I do feel like there's also like just a genuine concern coming from a place of desire just to feel good and confident and comfortable. And I think all of that is fair, right? Those feelings are fair. But I have some incredible evidence to combat this with, because again, I have found some amazing secondhand bottoms that are just going to be perfect for summer, and I cannot wait to wear them. Now this first one I actually found last winter, and I nearly didn't buy them because I was like, it's cold, I'm not going to wear them until summer. But I'm so glad I did, because I ended up wearing these so much in summer and I felt so comfortable every time I wore them. They're just like these white and black striped pants with like a tie waist. They're very flowy, they're very comfortable. I think they were originally just from Target. I got them from Savers, and they were one of my most worn pairs of pants last summer. And I'm pretty sure they're probably going to be again next summer. Now this winter I had a similar experience. I found some very light, obviously summery pants at Savers that I nearly didn't buy, but then I remembered these white and black striped ones and decided to go for it, and I can't wait to wear them this summer. They're just these blue kind of wide leg cropped pants. I guess they're kind of like culottes maybe, but again they just fit me great and they're so comfortable and they're so flowy and they're going to be so breathable. Even though they're a pretty subdued kind of almost denim-y color, I do like the blue and I think it's going to go really well with my wardrobe. And then a skirt that you have recently seen is this incredible bright yellow skirt from Variety Hour that I found secondhand on Depop for 1/3 of the original price. So not only did I score a bargain, I also just got an item of clothing that I I probably wouldn't have bought, I probably wouldn't have been able to afford if I was being realistic. It's now mine at a much more reasonable price, or a much more attainable price to me, I should say. It's beautiful, it's so fun, it's so vibrant, it's so me. I love how it looks on me, and even though I'm really enjoying winter and like wearing my winter wardrobe, this skirt makes me excited for summer. So I suppose my point in sharing some of these items of clothing with you is, one, to show you and myself that this idea that I just like cannot find things that I will feel good in secondhand, I just don't think that's true. Maybe it's a little bit harder, maybe it might take a little bit more time, but I think especially now that I have access to like consignment stores and Depop, honestly, Depop has been a game changer. I know that I can find secondhand clothes that will fit me, that I will like, that I will feel good in. And I suppose the second reason that I wanted to show you and myself all of these amazing clothes is to remind us both at how great my wardrobe already is. Like genuinely, I have so many clothes that I just love. And like I've just shown you a handful of ones that I've recently in the last year or so purchased secondhand. And so I suppose I want to come around to the point of one of the reasons I feel really ready to do this now. And I almost want to do this now, even though I'm going to miss buying some lovely new clothes, even though I'm a little bit nervous. I do feel ready and I do want to do this. And I suppose that reason is simply that I love my wardrobe. I fucking love my wardrobe. I'm in a place right now where everything in my wardrobe fits me really well, where I love the colors. I feel like everything works together so well. I feel like I have so many options for creativity and playing around. Most days I genuinely am just excited to get dressed. Like it's one of the things that I look forward to. There are of course some days where decision fatigue and my spoons are low, whatever. But for the most part, my wardrobe right now is an utter source of joy in my life. And so while yes, I have absolutely been inspired by the conversation around, you know, reducing how many clothes we are purchasing new, and I do feel like that's something that I need to get more comfortable with, I also feel like this challenge is just going to allow me some space away from thinking about brand new items and what's coming out and what's new and what's exciting and what's pretty, to just live in my wardrobe right now and to just enjoy how fucking fabulous it currently is. Now, obviously to some of you, this challenge will not seem all that harsh. Like I'm still allowed to buy 3 brand new items. And just to clarify, this doesn't include necessities like undies and bras or whatever. It does, however, at least for me, include shoes, bags, and like anything that I wear that you see when I wear it. I'm still very much allowed to thrift to my heart's content. I mean, obviously I don't want to be overdoing it because like I said, I love my wardrobe and like none of us have, well, very few of us have unlimited funds. I definitely don't have unlimited space, but I'm not putting a cap on that. One, because like that's not part of the project of this. And while I totally agree that like secondhand shopping can absolutely feed into overconsumption and consumerism in the same way that like brand new shopping can too, that's kind of a different conversation from what I want to focus on here. And at the end of the day, there is so much clothing in the world. It's not like we're at risk of like buying up all the secondhand clothes so that none of it goes to landfill. We are not running out of secondhand clothes. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I am very much somebody who thrives when I have small, achievable, attainable goals rather than putting a ridiculous amount of pressure and constraints on myself. And so limiting myself in this one substantial way of only purchasing 3 brand new items for the rest of the year, it does feel a little bit scary, but more than that, it feels exciting. And I'm excited both by the opportunity to spend more time with the clothes that I already have. I'm excited to get more creative with my secondhand shopping, but I'm also just really excited to step more, even more in alignment with my values. And while the idea of committing to 5 pieces for an entire year right now just feels too scary, too overwhelming, too stressful, the idea of 3 for 6 months, I feel like I can do that. And my plan is just to do my best in good faith with this challenge and to see come December, January, like how I'm feeling and what commitments I want to make for 2025. I just want to make one thing clear. This video is me exploring my relationship to clothes and to fashion and to the fashion industry. I'm not trying to make a judgment or a prescription on you. I genuinely do believe that we're all in different places with like sustainability and with fashion, and that's okay. I think as long as we're always trying to move more in alignment with our values, like a little bit at a time every day, that's kind of the main thing. And this is how I'm choosing to do it right now. So thanks so much for hanging out with me and just chatting about clothes and my my relationship to clothes. I would love to hear in the comments if you have any thoughts or if you want to tell me a little bit about your relationship to clothes. A big thank you as always to my wonderful patrons over on Patreon who have not only allowed me but encouraged me to play around with the kinds of content that I'm putting out. I appreciate you all so much, and an extra special big thank you goes to Livia, Lynette Brown, and Marie. And thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you in the comments and in the next video. Until then, much love. Bye.